What is going on, fellas? I got a brand new toy. I got this thing rigged out exactly how I want it. It is an absolute game changer. Let's talk about it. So this right here is an e-bike, specifically the Mokwheel Basalt 2.0 ST. Mokwheel was kind enough to send this thing over for a video, and it is an absolute off-road, get-you-anywhere beast. Now, of course, Mokwheel sent me this e-bike to test out in the pig fields, but this thing is so practical for so many more applications. General recreation, taking it fishing to your local pond, camping. I've even thought about taking this thing to First Monday in Canton, which, if you don't know what that is a massive flea market, and this would dominate out there. And especially for you rodeo and FFA guys, a lot of people are using scooters these days to go from their camper across the fairgrounds to check on their animals. With this, you can actually load up some feed sacks or a bucket. This thing would be awesome out there. Now, if I can convince you to get one of these e-bikes by the end of this video, you can save $50 on your next Mokwheel e-bike purchase by clicking on the very first link in the description and using the code ANKI50 at checkout. You're welcome. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the specs, but let's talk about a few quick key features. Starting off with these fat 4-inch tires that are awesome for off-road use. On the back, we have a back rack to mount whatever you want. We'll talk about that later. Does not come with the front rack, but you can purchase that separately through Mokwheel. Then on the left side, which is kind of weird, but you get used to it pretty fast, is your throttle. And with that throttle, you can get up to 20 miles an hour. If you want to go even faster, don't use the throttle, just use the pedals. With their pedal assist feature, you can get up to 28 miles an hour. You can get to that top speed pretty dang fast, and honestly, I wouldn't want to go much faster. Then right here, we have the massive battery. They say you can get up to 80 miles on a charge. I really think that's 80 miles with using a lot of pedal assist, because my buddy Sage and I from the Run 'em Down, we filmed a hog hunt video using these things. Make sure to check it out if you haven't already. With going over a bunch of county roads and rough country, using almost just the throttle and also towing a 200-pound pig for some of it, we got about 25 miles on a charge, but honestly, that's more than most of you guys need anyway. Now, let's quickly talk about all the things that I've added onto here to turn into the ultimate hunting setup. Starting off with this massive basket from Mokwheel. You can mount it up to the front like I did, or you can actually mount it to the back rack. I usually put my range bag or my camera bag in here, or for you FFA guys, toss in your feed sack or a bucket, you're good to go. And then on the very back, we have an e-bike trailer from Vevor. This thing is rated to hold up to 275 pounds, and for the price, which is I think about $150 to $170, you can't beat it. And I'll make sure to leave a link and a discount code in the description to make it even cheaper. Like I said, I've already towed a 200-pound pig with this thing, and it worked awesome. Or you can toss some feed sacks in there or some bags of corn, take it to the feeder. If you really want to, you can pop these pins out and essentially turn it into a little flatbed, or you can store it like this by popping the tongue off, and it also comes with quick disconnect tires, so whenever you're not using it, it's a real small package. Now, I've seen a bunch of reviews where people say this thing is loud and rattles whenever you ride. Here's a quick tip. Grab a wrench, tighten this hinge pretty tight, but where you can still open and close the gate pretty easily. No more rattling. You're welcome. All right, let's quickly talk about what makes a hunting rig a hunting rig. I see a lot of guys, they mount their rifles right on the handlebars, but I'm not a big fan of that, just because one, it makes it so much harder to control, and two, I'm already using up so much real estate, I don't have room to add a gun rack. And speaking of real estate, I am a licensed realtor in Texas that specializes in land sales. So if you need any help buying hunting land, an investment property, place to build your dream home, or any of your other real estate needs, I would love to help you out. My information is down in the description. Give me a call or an email. Let's find the right place for you in Texas. So I have my guns mounted to the very front of the basket using your standard double gun ATV rack from a company called Grasper. I'll make sure to have it linked in my Amazon storefront, which is down in the description below. They're super cheap. They've worked great for me for years. They have a single gun version as well if you want to go that way. And if you haven't already, I made a video about 2 years ago using those exact same gun racks to turn into a backseat gun rack for your truck to keep your guns organized for whenever you're going on a range day or a big hunting trip. So make sure to check that video out as well down in the description. The rack itself is really sturdy, even on super bumpy roads. Right here, I have my Sig Cross 308 for those big pigs or those long range pigs, paired up with an AGM Adder V2 5640. And on the very end, I got a brand new, this is a Magco EDS 30L. This is the quietest can I own, and it is so cheap. I have to make a whole video about this thing because it's awesome. And then right here, I have my Crown Precision 223 Wild full carbon fiber. I love this thing with an AGM Rattler V3, and then the new Catawba Valley Badger 223 suppressor. I love this rig for whenever there's a whole bunch of pigs. And so it comes with straps, the little rack does, and it holds this gun super well. I lost the straps over the years on this one, so even without it, the grips it pretty well, but usually I'm using just one gun, and then I have a camera tripod on my other one. And then if you look on the very front, I have 3 lights mounted, which seems a little bit overkill, but each one serves its own purpose. Starting off with the standard white light and reflector that comes with the Mokwheel eBike. Works great if you just need to quickly see where you're going at night, and is accessible by just using your standard control panel up front. And then right here up top, I mounted a Last Light Strike 1800 headlamp, which I absolutely love their headlamps. I have 3 of them. One of them is mounted right here. I took the strap off and zip tied it onto here, and then I mounted this, and then I just clicked that headlamp into place, and now I have a red light if I need a red light. Only downside is I have to access it by actually touching this. I don't have a way to control it from the front. And then finally, I have an AGM IR light set up on this. I forgot the name of the model, but it's an 850, and I have it mounted on a standard flashlight bike mount. They're super cheap. It's a 2-pack for like $8 or $9, so if I really wanted to, I can mount my sniper hog lights, my red light onto here. And then the only thing I had to do was wrap a whole bunch of electrical tape around here to make that top one mount onto here, since this is just a super thin tube. And then I have the pressure pad wired up all the way up to here, so I can control it from here. Some of you may be asking, why do I need an IR light? And that is because I finally got my hands on a real set of Nods. I have always wanted a pair of these, finally got them. Got the yoke drags patch on the back. I'm definitely gonna have to do a full video on this setup in the future, so stay tuned for that. But quick overview, these are some bridged PVS 14E 3 APWs that AGM sent over. They are a Gen 3 white phos, so super clear. You can see everything at night, but if you really wanted to see even brighter, you turn on that IR light on the front of the bike, and it's just a massive floodlight that's invisible, but you can see under these. And then the helmet is a hard hat veterans bump helmet. Works great, super comfortable. Honestly, if I didn't even have Nods, I would still be wearing a nice quality helmet, because I don't want to hit a pothole going 28 miles an hour on that bike and I'm done for. And then finally on the side, I have an Olight PL Pro Valkyrie. The Mokwheel also does come shipped with an air pump that I just keep strapped down with a reusable zip tie that I stole off of my Last Light rope light. It works great, and I highly recommend keeping it on you at all times, because if you're reckless like me, I'm always going over mesquite thorns, and I've popped 6 tires with only 113 miles on this thing. Well, I just popped a tire. Definitely recommend keeping that on you just in case. And then finally, some of you are probably wondering how I have my tripod mounted. I stole this idea from my thermal buddy Dakota Landers, so make sure to check him out on Instagram and Facebook. I don't think he has a YouTube yet. But this right here is the Colpin ratcheting gun rack. Once again, I'll have it linked in my Amazon storefront. I just screwed it into the bike rack, and then if you see, there is some metal cross supports that it's screwed up against just for some extra support. Super sturdy, and then it's super easy to take the tripod off with 2 hands. I only have 1 hand right now, so I'm not going to do it, but it's super sturdy. I'll ride around all night like this, can't complain about it. And then finally, you have to have a solid phone mount to be able to run Onyx while you're hunting or film a video. There's a whole bunch of options out there, but I went with one of the fanaue ones. It is an anti-theft model, so it screws in right there. This is designed for a motorcycle, and then this key right here isn't supposed to stay there. You place it in there, turn it, and then take it out. So I guess I can show you guys that adjusts it, and then you lock it into place, and you would technically take it out, but I glued it in there just to always keep it in there because I don't plan on anybody stealing this. And then there's actually some slight suspension on the phone mount itself, so whenever you're hitting hard bumps, it's not damaging your phone. Slides right in there, and you can just tighten it in place. I mean, it's a great option, and I'll have it linked in my description below, and I'll actually have a link straight to their website with a discount code for 15% off, so make sure to take a look. And I almost forgot to mention, this thing comes stock with taillight brake lights and blinkers, so you're ready to go on the road with this thing. So in Mokwheel Basalt 2.0 ST, the ST stands for step through, just like this. They have a standard 2.0 version that has that bar going across here, and I always grew up with the mindset of the step through design was more of a feminine style bike, But then you really start thinking about it, especially from a hunting perspective. You got stuff mounted on here and trying to get off the bike real quick if you find some pigs. The step-through design is just so much more practical, and that's what I hear from everybody that hunts with e-bikes. So that's just kind of a thing that you want to think about. I 10 out of 10 would recommend going with the step-through design. Now let's take this thing on a quick spin. There's no level ground really anywhere around here, so I don't think we'll be able to hit top speeds, but at least we'll be able to see how well it performs off-road. I don't have a GoPro, but I managed to jerry-rig my phone onto my spare helmet, so we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see how this helmet works out. All right, so to start off, you just press this power button, hold it until the screen turns on. Don't know if you guys can see this screen through a 0.5 lens on an iPhone, but now it won't work unless you press this plus button. Then your pedal assist will turn to 1, and that means you can just pedal a little bit and it'll help you just a little bit. You can go all the way up to 5. I usually just keep it on 5 because I barely start pedaling and it just really goes. But once you have that at least on 1, now your throttle works, and we can try to not pop a tire on a mesquite branch.
1 minute 37 seconds later.
I think I might have just driven over a mesquite branch, so we'll see if my tires popped or not. Gosh, this grass is tall. Currently going 13 miles an hour. No problem at all through this stuff. Gosh, this stuff is thick. Oh man, I definitely just drove through some mesquites. I would not be surprised if the tire is going to be popped by the time I get back to the truck. It's honestly probably always good to keep a spare tire on you. They're not hard to change in the field. All right, we're going 20 right now, just on the throttle. It's a really pretty property. All right. I don't think we popped the tire. At least not yet. Now, let's try towing with it. All right, now I have 250 pounds of deer corn to see how well this trailer holds up, test out the towing capacity on this e-bike, and to simulate either one, just trying to get some corn over to a feeder in a secluded area, especially with all this off-road that a side-by-side can't get to, or 2, once again, you're trying to get grain over to your animals at a livestock show, or 3, you shoot a big pig or a big deer and you want to see how well it tows. So let's get to it. All right, 4 bags fit in the trailer perfectly. The 5th bag had to sit on top, so I strapped it down just in case, but there's plenty of strap down locations. I'm actually really excited to see how well this performs. All right, this right here is the ultimate test. Come on, slow start. There we go, we're picking up speed. All right, we're already going 12 miles an hour. How fast can we go? What happens if we pedal? How well does it go when we pedal? Honestly, I don't know if there's too much of a benefit of pedaling. I'm still going about the same pace. Got a bunch of tall grass here. I bet that trailer's picking up a lot of that. I mean, it looks like it's going pretty well. Definitely didn't expect to, you know, go top speed. I think going 10 to 12 miles an hour is pretty decent for 250 pounds worth of corn. We're also going on an uphill right now, and it just rained the other day, so this ground's kind of moist. Okay, we're slowing down a little bit on this uphill. Let's try to do a little bit more pedal assist. It's getting it a little bit easier. I mean, is this the perfect vehicle ever? No. But this has a very specific use, getting to places that you normally can't get to, getting to there quietly. way more effective than walking. I mean, I don't want to carry 250 pounds of corn by myself, and I can't get a truck to some places that I hunt. So we're almost at 13 miles. Here we are. All right, fellas, the Mokwheel Basalt 2.0 ST performed amazing. I didn't strap down that top bag of corn the best, so at the very end it slid forward, but still 250 pounds. I think this thing way outperformed itself, especially at its price point. Make sure, let me know down in the comments below, what else should I do to turn this into the ultimate hunting rig. Like I said, all of the links and codes will be down in the description. Save you a bunch of money. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your buddies. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.